extraterrestrial civilization. I know that you have essentially written a speech for the president to deliver if he decides to do this. I want to quote just the first line. My fellow Americans and all citizens of Earth, it has come to our attention that extraterrestrial civilizations of great technological advancement have been visiting Earth for some time. Could you see President Trump being the first president to step to the podium?
Question chat. Question chat. Guys. Hold on. If the nuclear bomb, chat, back in the days, was like flying, okay? Hold on now. Hold on. Instead of a nuclear bomb, it was flying, okay? And they had to test it out, flying on the coast or something like that, right? And other departments of the United States have seen it flying. Hold on. They would have called it an alien, right? Because it's a secret project. Not all branches of the government know about it, right? I'm getting only a few. It's very secretive, and the point of the design is that it is done in secrecy and then nobody knows about it. So if they start flying, they would say it's a UFO, right? So it makes sense that the UFOs of that time could have been just a technological advancement, secret project that flies. I mean, it only makes sense.
And deliver a speech like that.
I do, and apparently his daughter-in-law believes so as well. And I think...
Why would flight control, radars, why would these guys know what's flying? Why would they know? If they don't know it's a secret, they would know shit. They'd be like, yo, this is a UFO. And according to what is a UFO, it's unidentified and it flies.
The reason for that is that there are so many pressures about this subject coming out in the next few months that delaying it much longer would not be proper. And I've advised in a briefing we did.
Oh, this guy's on crack. A extraterrestrial civilization? How do you know it's a civilization? Because it flies. What do you have that makes you think that it's a civilization? Well, how do you know? Why does it have to be civilization? Why can it not just be a singular being? Why can it not be some weird amalgamation of cells that does shit? I mean...
So as well. And I think the reason for that is that there are so many pressures about this subject coming out in the next few months that delaying it much longer would not be proper. And I've advised in a briefing we did.
Human thinking is too linear. Because you think and you see things as humans do this, humans do that. You think that aliens have to be some form of humanoid, civilized, like fucking, it has to be same structure. Yo, we have no fucking idea. It could be fucking little fucking cubes of blobs that have Wi-Fi thinking, fucking offshore to the planet or some shit like that fucking moves in smoke, okay, and sends out fucking smells somewhere that changes vibrations. Like, we don't know what the fuck is. Like, I think this is short-sighted thinking.
For the White House, that they do not want to be behind the curve on this. They want to not have it come out through other countries or in some other way, asymmetrically, let's say, and they want to be
all citizens of Earth. It's current as an alien themed butt plug.
Interesting. Steam, and of course, what actually gets decided by the president, I'm not privy to per se, not directly, but I do think this is coming on a fast track.
Chat, I'm gonna say something that's very, very bad, and you're gonna get mad at me. I believe this guy less, and I believe this less than the central control guy. And you say, who's the central? Who is that? The central control guy.
As a Christmas gift, Reverend Short has offered to use his body as a vessel for his alien friend, Corton.
Right. We were going to have you over here. Is that okay?
No.
This is Central Control. This is Central Control. Stand by.
That there is evidence of interdimensional beings that can operate through the time spaces that we currently have, which is obviously...
if they were in another dimension, would we even see them?
Going to catch a lot of people's attention. Anna Paulina Luna, thank you very much, Congressman. It's good to have you with us today. So I want to go back to that. You told Joe Rogan in a podcast in August when you were discussing all of this that you have viewed evidence of interdimensional beings here on Earth and that they operate
This video has been debunked a million times, man.
through the time
They keep
spaces
showing
that we
this
currently
fucking
have.
rot,
Can you explain
man.
What you mean by that?
Yeah, I think that a good example would be some of the photo visual evidence that we've seen directly in some of these classified briefings that will now be made public. One of the famously now, I guess, infamous videos that we showed in one of our hearings was actually a video that was dead dropped to Eric Burleson, who's a member of Congress.
Okay, simple concept there. That's because the actual object, the actual whatever the fuck this is over there, is incredibly far away. Whatever it's a light, it's very far away, and this is just the fucking, it's the glare, and then this is the rotating fucking gyroscope of the camera. The camera gyroscope is readjusting, so it looks like it's moving. It absolutely is. It absolutely, even a miniature alteration in the lens, the miniature thing that makes the light look like that. When it changes, and it rotates, of course it's gonna rotate. It has to. You can literally see the gyroscope change.
Burleson, who's a member of Congress.
You
from
can
within
literally
evidence
see
that
it.
We've seen directly in some of these classified briefings that will now be made public. One of the famous.
Look, you can literally see it rotate.
Now, I guess, infamous videos that we showed in one of our hearings was
Like-
actually a video that was dead dropped to Eric Burleson, who's a member of Congress, from within the Department of War, and it shows a UAP, an unidentified air phenomena, deflecting a Hellfire missile. This was taken off of ISR footage off the coast of, I believe it was Yemen. So long story short, there have been briefings that we've received as
The pilot says it's rotating when looking at the fucking thing. Do you think that the guy, oh my god, MD Pog, you are fucking brain dead. Do you think that the pilot can see this object? Oh my god. Please, oh my god, please, to all heavens, all gods out there, please tell me no, he's not saying this. Oh my god, I beg. Please tell me you're not saying that the pilot can see this, right? The guy said he can? I'm done.
Congress that leads us to believe that, yes, there is definitely an advanced technology out there that's not created by mankind. And yes, of course, we've seen other evidence where it could potentially be UAPs, and then we later find out that there's drones. But there is a certain amount of evidence that we simply can't explain. Some of the physics.
If the object emits light at that distance, the naked eye wouldn't be able to say whatever the fuck that is. And it definitely would not be able to tell whether it's rotating or not. There is no way you think that a light emitting object at this distance, you'll be able to tell what kind of movement that it's doing. There is no way you think that. That's crazy.
That are defied in
Bro,
how these vehicles.
It's like it's looking at a star and saying, dude, I think it just flipped sideways. I think the star flipped sideways. You can't tell shit, buddy.
Operate are very interesting to note, and we are not the only government that's looked into this extensively. But
Oh my god! Now you're getting a troll video.
If this rotation is merely the result of image stabilization, why would the two pilots fail to recognize it as such?
Lamau, there's no way you
if
fell
anyone,
for their
would
explanations of this. You are so fucking gullible and dumb, it's insane. Actual libtard.
know what that looks like, and they're not alone.
Okay, now tell us what the measurements are and how far the object is, and give us the data, give us the research on human perception of light objects or light emitting objects and how accurate it is at those distances. Now, if you want to be thorough, if you look at scientific data and research, this is incredibly far away. What about it?
There's a lunar thing. It's rotating.
If this rotation
No, they're looking at the camera. They're not. There's no way they're looking at the naked eye. I don't believe it.
is merely the result of image stabilization, why would the two pilots fail to recognize it as such? Surely they, if anyone,
Even if they saw light or saw whatever the fuck, they're saying that it's rotating. they will be seeing it and saying it's rotating because the gyroscope changed. That's it. That's it. It's that simple. They if there was a light, fair enough, there is, right? They see it. They say it's rotating because the camera's rotating. So it's a mix of both. It's not just they saw it rotating with their eyes only. Fuck that. That's crazy.
Would know what that looks like.
That's crazy.
And they're not alone. Both Lieutenant Graves and Acoin believe it is the UFO which is rotating. Furthermore, an expert on the ATFLIR system has very plainly stated that this is not an optical illusion.
Wrong.
But this is not the only puzzling comment made by the two pilots.
There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA. My gosh. They're all going against the wind.
The camera is rotating. There's a video about this. Let's link it. There's an entire video.
In this video, I'm going to demonstrate 4 observables. 4 things that you can verify yourself that demonstrate that the gimbal UFO video almost certainly shows a glare that hides the actual object.
Look.
And that the shape of the glare is only...
Look. Here it's more big, so you can see it, right? But this is accurate. Look at this. It's just bigger, so you can understand it. But that's just what it uses. It's different axes, and to have the same result, right? It has to redo itself, and that's what you see when this changes. It's that simple.
Because the camera is rotating.
Look.
Briefly, the 4 observables are: 1. No rotation when banking. The shape does not rotate when the jet banks. Everything else rotates, the shape does not. 2. Bumps before rotation. When the shape does rotate, there's a bump right at the start, sometimes a fraction of a second before. 3. Rotating patterns. When the shape rotates...
Oh, let me guess. Let me guess. The alien sends a wave emission that makes the camera glitch and bump every time at the exact same interval with the same timing, so that they can trick the people to think it's only a gimbal. Because they're so advanced that, fuck that.
There's a matching rotation of light patterns across the entire image. 4. Derotation matches. The rotation of the shape matches exactly the...
The problem is...
Okay, I believe you. So what exactly is it?
Bro,
this.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it is. We don't know what it is because they don't want you to know what it is. Because it's probably some fucking government project that they're working on the technology. They're flying this to some other fucking branch of the government that they don't want other governments to know about. Like, they don't want the guy to leak their shit. It's that simple. Like, what about it?
Amount of derotation needed for tracking the target.
We know you aren't being paid off
the first
by
3
the
are simple
Pentagon.
observations. They don't need any math to see their...
Yes, it's a UFO technology. Yes, it absolutely is. Since we don't know what it is, for our eyes, it's a UFO. For the people that are putting it up there, it is not a UFO. So it's not really a UFO, because in my opinion, a UFO should be to everybody. To everybody. The only real UFO that I think is a real UFO is when nobody knows. Ever.
Indications, just an understanding of
which is usually drugs.
System. The last one does require math, but I can also demonstrate it with a simulation, so you can see the math matches the physical reality.
Look!
Before we get into the 4 observables, we need to understand what is going on. What are we looking at?
Chat, I want you to understand it. Any of these arguments the guy made, he puts 5. Any alone is almost good enough to debunk this by itself. And he has like 5 or 6 of them. That's crazy.
And how was it filmed? The gimbal UFO video is the poster child of modern UFO videos.
Boom. The Tic Tac is also wrong. The Tic Tac is even worse, in my opinion. Anyway, we can go on. I cannot believe they're still playing these videos.
Look at this from a lens of national security. And as you know, as we continue to evolve specifically on the front of AI and drone technology, we have to ensure that are these things, whatever they may be, are they potential adversarial weapons, advanced weapons, or not? And I think the whole aspect that the federal government can deny access to members of Congress, of which has happened not just to myself, but to other members of Congress as well, is not just alarming, but it's also something that cannot truly exist in a free and fair society. Government should not operate in secrecy. And so I look forward to the American people being able to determine their own conclusion after they've seen some of the evidence that we have seen. But most recently, Representative Gates actually came forward. He was on that initial CODAL with me and Representative Tim Burchett, where we were denied access. And he will tell you that if you've seen some of the stuff that we've seen, you will too become a believer.
So, I mean, it's fascinating. And, you know,
guys, I fear for the world. I fear for the human race that a fucking media outlet is playing this shit. Like, it's like, dude, guys, I mean, dude, it's like if I was CNN and I was saying to guys, sell your houses because the astrology signs are saying recession is coming in 4.5 days based on the fucking Scorpio alignment. Like, what the fuck?
So you're saying that the Air Force has covered up UAP sightings. So, you know, if
they should.
Is it because it's technology that we have that they don't want anyone to know that we have militarily? Or is it that it's a foreign actor who has some abilities in technology and things that spin in ways that...
Guys, what is the downside of covering it up? Well, not much. The public will have panic a little bit. They're like, oh no, UFO. Costs nothing. No damage to society. What about the downsides? They don't cover it. Guys, we were actually working on this new technology. And here, it's a super advanced technology rocket that we can never use again. We will never be able to use this on any operations for anything because the public was scared of UFOs. It's actually a super weapon we've been working on for 30 years, right? We can't use it anymore because you guys said UFO, DMT.
We can't understand?
Really?
Based on our interviews that we've conducted, not just in person, but also to given some of the testimony that we've received, we do have reason to believe that this tech is not created by mankind. However, it is also possible that there are certain advanced weapons that the U.S. government may have that they're denying us access to. But here's the problem. When you have unelected bureaucrats denying access to members of government that are supposed to oversee and write the checks for that federal spending, and then we're also getting reports that there are people being threatened, whether it be physically, whether there have been, interesting deaths associated with people that have been coming forward as whistleblowers, which has been brought up in some of the testimony that we've received, not just myself, but you saw recently there was a movie that came out, The Age of Disclosure, where this was also referenced now by the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio. This is one of the most bipartisan and bicameral things in Washington, D.C. And so we definitely are looking forward to sharing this and exploring this further with the American people.
I mean, again, they win. The government wins once again. Too much focus on the files, too much focus on everything. All they had to do is alien. That's it. One word. They want to say, guys, aliens. Boom, it's done. Everybody moved on. Everybody moved on. Nobody cares about anything anymore. It's GG. GG. It's that easy. It's that easy. It is that easy. It's the freest win since fucking. Since I don't know. Since Canada curling gold. A man in his early 20s was shot and killed after allegedly breaching a secure perimeter of President Mar-a-Lago estate in Palm Beach. The individual was observed near North Gate carrying a shotgun and a fuel can. Yo? What the fuck?
I think we now have Dan Bongino, former FBI director.
Thank
you for joining us on such short notice, Dan. So can you tell us what you know at this hour?
Well, obviously that's a secure, extremely secure area. I've been to the property, as many of you have, many times. Breaching the property, if what we have from the...
Well, I don't care if it's Fox News or anything. Why would I care? It's just unless it's false. I mean, I don't care about what news source it is. I'll watch CNN. I'll watch if it's a factual thing. I don't care about the commentary.
That side of the property, the north side of the property over there, they made a number of...
I was there. Yeah, I was there. It's very secure. I mean, I don't know how this guy probably got on the outside somewhere.
I know the director now.
You can judge the validity of that one footage of the UFO, but there are so many UFO sightings in history to not at least believe a little that something is going on.
45 and 47, obviously. is very familiar with the property. They made, again, a
Wow,
number
yeah,
of
let's
very
analyze
significant
this like there
technology
is any
enhancements.
chance
They put a
it's
lot of
credible.
money.
The same.
I'll replay it. I'll
The
replay it.
location, but ultimately, in the end, you know, there was an interdiction here by a human being, and they're going to be the ones who are obviously the decision makers. And it appears from the early reporting, and we'll see what comes out, that they you know.
Bro, what do you mean? Who
without
cares?
any
Well, this is
kind of deadly
insane.
force, which happened in this
Bro,
case,
like
you have to
fucking
have a fear of
assassination
serious
attempts are
physical injury
crazy.
or
I mean,
death.
this is
It
not
appears
like
the
normal
agent
at all.
officer
Like, this
was
should be
involved.
happening at all.
Thought that to be the case. The early reporting of a weapon.
It is
seems to
alarming.
indicate the obvious reason why. And then from this point on, the FBI and the Secret Service, me having been on both sides.
I mean, it's
of the
fake.
fence,
What the fuck are you talking about? I mean, I don't think they would be lying about this.
At 1:30 this morning, the security detail detected that a individual had made his way into the inner perimeter of Mar-a-Lago. A deputy and 2 Secret Service agents on the detail went to that area to investigate. They confronted a white male that was carrying a gas can and a shotgun. He was ordered to drop those 2 pieces of equipment that he had with him, at which time he put down the gas can, raised the shotgun to a shooting position. At that point in time, the deputy and the 2 Secret Service agents fired their weapons and neutralized the threat. He is deceased at the scene. I'll give you a picture of the shotgun and the gas can to have with you. So that's what we know now. The investigation continues. The FBI is the lead investigation agency on this case, and we will be assisting them in whatever manner they would like. And they will be responsible for answering any other questions at an appropriate time.
Yo, you have a wolf. You didn't have to do anything, man. That's $50. Yo, 50 umbrellas. Much, man. How to get to the inner perimeter? Wait, I mean, how does he get past the bridge? Is the bridge not like secure or whatever?